I've said it before and I will say it again, you don't need any fancy equipment to make a great film. You just need a camera like the one in your phone and a little bit of ingenuity. That being said, there are a couple of bits and pieces that you can invest in or maybe put on your Christmas wish list if you're getting really serious about your filmmaking and you want to take it to the next level. And this is all just stuff, again, that goes along with the camera right in your phone. So the first thing I wanted to point out was a tripod. And I know we talked in an earlier lesson about how to DIY your own tripod. For our film, you might have noticed in our behind the scenes footage that we did invest in an iPhone tripod just to kind of help us out. It made things a bit quicker for us so we weren't having to kind of reconfigure a new tripod throughout the entire shoot. So anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds on Amazon, get yourself a little tripod to work with. Otherwise, like I said, you can always engineer something from home. These little tripods are really, really cheap, and I think they're so great because they're just really small and lightweight. They work perfectly with any phone, and they can work just like a tripod, but you can also hook them around other things. They bend and twist on the arm, so you can hook them onto something. And you've got another tripod set up that kind of can go anywhere. You can hang it from the light fixture in your ceiling for like a top shot. I'm sure you can think of a lot of creative ways to use that, but I definitely recommend these little guys. They're really cool. Another thing that I would really recommend for filmmaking using your phone is a selfie stick. In addition to having, an amazing way to capture your wonderful selfies, these can be really great for phone filmmaking. You could do a couple different really cool shots with this. You can have kind of a walking shot of your character if you have your actor hold onto the phone and film themselves. That can be a really cool shot. Also great for top shots if you want to look down on something. So just a handy little thing. Also, this is also really great as a little stabilizer. If you're doing handheld work with your phone, I think I've mentioned before, it can look really, really shaky. And there are reasons to use this. We used a little bit of handheld work in our film Unboxing. But if you're going to do that, you should have a dramatic reason for using handheld. So in our film, we wanted to use handheld because it was a really tense moment and our character was getting really nervous and scared, and we wanted the camera movement to kind of emulate the feelings of the character. So that's a great reason for us using handheld. That being said, if you want to do some handheld work but you want it to be not super, super shaky, these selfie sticks work as great little kind of stabilizers. So even just holding your phone on this rather than having it in your hand is automatically going to make it a little bit smoother. So you can do your pans or your tilts, and if you don't have a tripod, it's kind of a great second option. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about was having just an extra phone. If your phone is going to run out of storage or battery in the middle of your shoot, if you want to record sound on a separate device, these are all great reasons to kind of have a backup phone. So anybody else that's on your film set, if your friends are helping you make it or one of your friends is acting in the film, maybe ask if they're okay with you having their phone as a second device on hand. You can also run 2 cameras at once sometimes to save yourself some time. So maybe you've got your wide shot going on your phone at the back of the room, and then you can be a bit, on another angle or another shot on this phone. So it's just a good idea to have a second device on hand. I often do shoots with 2 or 3 cameras even. Another bit of kit that I really recommend if you're shooting on a phone is a battery pack. Again, you can get some really affordable ones online, and basically you probably noticed this in our behind the scenes footage. We were using this throughout our entire shoot because the phone batteries can die quite quickly, especially when you're using the video feature. So it's a really good idea to have an extra battery pack so you don't run out of battery right in the middle of your shoot and then you've got to sit there and wait for your phone to charge before you can get on with your film. You don't want that to happen. So these are really great. And then all we did was we bought a little bit of Velcro and we just attached some Velcro to the back of our phone and to our battery pack and then stuck them together. And then that was great. That was perfect for us. It got us through our entire day of shooting, which was several hours, and we didn't have to stop to charge our phone even once. So that was perfect. Another thing I would definitely recommend is have a pair of headphones on hand while you're shooting. I don't think in most phones you won't be able to hear the sound, so I wouldn't use them while you're recording, because you're going to want to keep your ears open for any noises that might be coming in that might be interrupting your dialogue. But what it is good for is when you go to play your shots back. So if you just recorded a scene and you want to check that the sound was all clear, you can plug your headphones into your phone and play the shot back and make sure you've got good, clean sound to use. Another thing I wanted to talk about was lenses. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, my camera on my phone already has a lens, duh. It's right there in the front. This is true. And I did show you in a previous lesson that you can zoom in and out on your phone, which is great. However, you can buy additional lenses just for your phone. So you can see I've got a set here. And these can be for a couple different things. There are lenses that can allow you to have a wider field of view. There are also lenses like this big guy here that allow you to zoom in a lot farther. So that's great. And then there's also some really fun lenses you can get. This one's a kaleidoscope, just like lenses with different built-in filters. Which can be really great. Maybe you've got a scene that you want like a dreamy effect on, or maybe it's a sci-fi and you need some kind of warp speed look going on. You can do those kind of things in post, so you definitely don't need any fancy lenses, but it can be fun to experiment putting a look on your footage right in camera, and lenses are the great way to do that. So like I said, these can be really affordable. There's loads of different options online, and they usually just clip on to something just like this. And then you can just pop them on the front of your camera lens, and voila, you've got a whole different lens to use. You might have seen in our behind the scenes footage, we only have one shot in our film that we used a special lens for, and it was this lens right here, and it's a macro lens. And this allowed us to get a really close-up shot of our actor's eye right when he was in that big moment of panic. And this was really great because we noticed that just using the regular lens on the phone, when we got really close to the actor, we couldn't get it in focus and we couldn't get an extreme enough of a close-up that we wanted. So we really needed this additional macro lens to nail that perfect shot. But again, it's not something that you need. None of this is things that you need. All you need is your phone and some creativity. But it doesn't hurt to have a few extra things to help you out and just take your film to that next level. One last thing you want to keep in mind, no matter what camera you're working with, is to remember to record and stop recording. This sounds really obvious, I know, and you might be rolling your eyes at me right now, but trust me, this happens to every filmmaker at some point or another. You've just done a perfect take, and the actor's performance was brilliant, and the camera movement was just right, and the lighting was on point, and everything was great, and you call cut, and then you move to stop recording, and then you realize, oh, I never hit record, and it is the worst feeling, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So just make sure that you hit the record button and that you can see that little red circle appear on your screen, or whatever your camera's feature might be that indicates the camera's definitely rolling and you can call action. This same tip applies to storage space. Whether you're working with a camera and recording onto some kind of card or shooting on your phone, just make sure you've got plenty of storage space, because you don't want your camera to run out of space in the middle of what may have just been the perfect take.